Greetings. It's Uncle Vigilante. I don't know what night it is. I think it's Monday night. Welcome. Glad you made it. This is an interview that I have been looking forward to for a week because unfortunately last week we had to kick the can down the road. I am here tonight with Kingsley Edwards. He is the CEO of flote.app. That's flote.app. And what we're going to talk about tonight is Censor Free Tech. And we're going to unpack his business and everything that flote.app is. And first of all, Kingsley, welcome to the show. Thank you for making it and showing up because I am just chomping at the bit for this tonight.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome. So I want to just share with you the reason why this is so near and dear to my heart, that last year when the CV-19 started happening, I have a physical disability. It's I literally cannot wear a face covering. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was going to be a big deal because I had to fly for a living. And I was like, oh no, what the heck am I going to do? And so I reached out and I went legal. I got my attorney. I got an American Disabilities Act advocate. And I just got papered up so that I have a medical, disability. Basically, the way it works is it goes back to when I had a drowning event when I was young and when I was 7 and almost died. And then everything was fine. But the next night, they didn't know why I was turning blue. But apparently what happened, there's a thing called secondary drowning to where there was still water in my lungs. And my brain processed that I was drowning. And so it closed my trachea. And I thank God they were able to save me a second time. But ever since in my entire life, I have had real issues. My brain just, whenever it's covered, it just wants to, all of a sudden I get this stress here and I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. So I've always been able to self-mitigate my whole entire life. But once that's, I'm just claustrophobic as heck. And I know when I go to restaurants, I have to sit to where I'm open and I can see everything. Not an issue. I mean, I'm 56 years old. So last year I was 55. And so I was just kind of thrown, no pun intended, head first into the shallow end with a mask on, and I couldn't wear one. So why did I bring that up? Well, I started, I started my investigation of what was behind all of this CV-19, and I started to smell something that it just didn't seem right. And so I was like, who's behind this? And I was just, possessed about identifying the they. When people say they all the time, like they do that, they're talking about somebody like the Illuminati or whatever. Right. And so I was like, who are they? So I did a serious investigation, had a lot of guests on, and I started uncovering my assessment that I'm like, what the TV's telling us isn't what reality is. And so I started talking about it, Kingsley, and people really appreciated me talking about it. I went from a standing start to about 10,000 subs in 6 weeks. And I was just speaking the truth. And I was going in and I was unpacking the World Economic Forum and looking at the COVID-19 platform and saying, how on earth, if this just, started happening in China in December, how on earth could there be this spider web COVID-19 platform that's integrated across 179 countries across every industry? I'm a business guy. How does that happen?
Yeah, right.
And so as I started to talk about it and I got a lot of momentum, strike one, strike two, strike three, channel deleted. I'm like, you know what? Screw you. I'll be a veritable whack-a-mole. I went by Uncle Odd back then. My nephew couldn't enunciate Todd, so I became Uncle Odd in my family. And so I'm like, screw him. I'll be a veritable whack-a-mole. If I get deleted, go to Uncle Odd 2. Go to Uncle Odd 3. Well, I had 6 channels deleted. So that was by December. In January, I got into crypto and have documented my journey ever since. So this is a crypto-centric channel for newbies, dedicated to newbies, because that's what I am. My moniker is, I don't know shit, but I'm eager to learn. And so they let me talk about crypto. It's crazy. I've had one guest on here who was Media Bear, and they gave me a strike for that because we dared say, the C word out loud.
Right.
Yeah. So you, sir, are the CEO of a platform. You got to unpack it, that you are all about being censorship free. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for leading the charge, being the tip of the spear. Tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we started this company because of exactly, this, like the same story or basically based on the same story that you gave, and so many other content creators have a similar thing or thing that happened to them. My wife and I, we started becoming friends with a lot of independent journalists and content creators on YouTube. That's, they've been working 5-10 years on their YouTube channel and their community,
Right.
not even just YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter. And all of a sudden, they started getting deplatformed. They started getting shadow banned. They started getting demonetized. And it was because they were talking about things that they don't want us to talk about.
Right.
So we saw this as an opportunity to do the right thing, and also as a business opportunity, because we see what big tech is doing, and we're becoming less and less, or we still are, but we are becoming less and less users of big tech as we move on to other platforms like our own, and like there's others out there. And so it just, it's crazy. And just as a researcher myself, who likes to look into things and kind of verify facts, and I know that the mainstream narrative is typically incorrect in what they promote, I started noticing that it was becoming harder and harder to find things that I typically look for, including actually cryptocurrency on Google, on Facebook. And then, then all of a sudden, all our friends started getting shadow banned or deplatformed as well.
Wow.
So yeah, we launched in 2019. And we have a bunch of features, all the social network features that you would typically think that a social network would have, including the ability to upload a bunch of media types, also audio, which I think is kind of unique. We have live streaming on our platform, and we're kind of like a lot of people call us like the crypto Facebook or crypto Twitter, because every account comes with a Bitcoin wallet. But we're actually in the middle. We're in beta right now, but we're going to be coming out of beta here in the next month or two, and we're really excited about it because we're going to have Ethereum also added to our platform, and introduce.
Well, walk us through this. I just came to the beta, float beta. I'm at the right place, right?
Yep.
So walk us through this.
Yeah, so we have, and a big part of what we're doing with Flote is obviously supporting free speech, and by connecting people, but also connecting people via payments too. So when we, cryptocurrency is the largest network of peer-to-peer, money out there, internet money. And I've actually been in crypto since 2013.
Wow.
So
okay.
welcome to the the cult, or the club, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a really exciting journey. It moves very fast. As you can see, in the last 2 days, we've had a pretty big run up in Bitcoin and Ethereum and a bunch of others. But
yeah.
So what I mean by that is, not only do they censor your speech, but they also censor your payments too, obviously.
Yeah.
And even when when someone sends you a tip, a live stream tip on YouTube, those tippers typically don't know that Google takes up to 30% of those tips.
That's
and
right.
Sometimes they don't even release it, especially if they delete you out there. So they're just going to take that. So we don't take anything. We're connecting crypto account to crypto account. So every single payment that's made on floats is peer-to-peer. We don't sit in there as a middleman.
Okay, so you have me at hello. I'm interested. So is Flote going to compete with the YOU tube?
Yeah, I mean, we already are in our own small capacity right now. But I believe that, we don't even have to really become the next Facebook or YouTube.
Hmm.
We can become, much smaller. I mean, our goal is to get to 100 million users in 5 years, and that represents less than 4% of Facebook's total user base. And right now, like as you said, it's these big tech companies are just really pissing their user base off.
Yeah.
So that used to make me mad as a user what they were doing, and now I see it as like, okay, yeah, keep making everybody mad because they're just coming over to Float and they're learning about crypto and they're just exploring these different
So
platforms.
what makes you, all right, let's just war game this, okay? Let's say that you succeed. Let's say that you get a mass following and you are like some of these other ones. Gosh, what is the name of the one recently? Well, I'll even say Discord, because
Mhm.
Discord has deplatformed some folks.
Right.
And so what makes you different? What if the Druid, I call them the Druid Babylonian bastards.
Okay.
When we talk about that's just my, all encompassing. They're the Druid Babylonian bastards. What kind of pressure can they put on you and your technology? Are you decentralized? How can they stop your movement? Can they just shut down a server?
So we're not decentralized yet. The crypto aspect is, but
Okay.
we are basically we have a roadmap to become more and more decentralized and give creators like yourself and just any average user the ability to choose basically how if they want to post it on Float servers or they want to host their own content that can be visible through the Float platform interface. Or they can interface. We're actually working right now with making it so that users can interact with IPFS, library,
Okay.
and a host of other decentralized technologies out there. So really a big part of what we're doing is becoming an aggregate of decentralized technologies and give users the ability to choose where they want to back up their data and have access to that at all times.
So would you be the beginning point? Like, would I live stream to Float and then it would go to library and uh
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. So we don't have that feature yet. We do have live streaming just directly on Float
hey,
right
I have
now.
a question. Would I be able to, from Zoom, because I'm a creature of habit? So that's live streaming to YouTube works really, really easy.
Right.
And since they decided I could talk about crypto, I hit the easy button.
Yeah.
Now I know everybody says you should go on library and you should get all these, and I'm just like, I was canceled so many times. It literally it just sucked the soul out of me. So once I found the easy button, I'm just like, you know what? I have never gotten into this to just build a huge audience. I would never try to monetize it. It's just not what I do. I'm relatively successful, and this is just about documenting my journey as a newbie in crypto. But I would like to say F you to these people as soon as I can. So I am very, very eager to, I'll get involved. I commit to you. I'll get involved over there. You just tell me how, and I'd like it to be easy to where I can live stream right from Zoom. And then if there's a distribution, like what is that service that I know that there's another service that I could live stream to that
Restream.
then, excuse me?
Restream. Probably.
Restreamio,
Yep.
restream.io.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So will you be kind of like that?
Yeah. We're going to have that capability with our
Awesome.
live stream option. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to do it exactly through Zoom because I'm not sure. I think Zoom would have to include us technically, but we may
Oh,
be able to. Repeat the feed to other ones. So
can
that's
you,
something
can you,
that's an interesting question. I can
can you
look
knock on
into.
their door and say, hey guys, we're coming?
Well, the issue with Zoom, honestly, is that they've also been caught censoring people as well.
Have they
So
really?
yeah, and I know they work closely, or they have offices in China, and it just seems, yeah, I've heard a couple
Yeah.
of times where they've gotten, I think they definitely censor in China. Um,
Okay.
so, but yeah, it's possible. I'm just trying to think through real quick technically if you can go directly from Zoom. There may be a way that we can repeat it and do that.
Well, I
So
just think
that's a
that
good question. I'll look at that.
since the only byproduct of this CV-19 craziness that I've found is that it did prove to the world that many of us can be at home and be productive. And so Zoom meetings became a thing, and it just works. And I know there are other services and stuff, but we are all creatures of habit. And so when you have something that is so widely as adopted as Zoom, I would just think that you'd kind of want to bend over backwards and figure out how to integrate it.
Yeah.
Again, it's the easy button.
Yeah, what we're specifically trying to do is where you can stream on Float, and then we can rebroadcast that out to Facebook, YouTube, anywhere. But directly with Zoom, that's actually a really good question. I'm going to look into that because that's a good idea.
So now I'm showing how much I don't know about all of this. What how would I stream directly to Float from my camera without? Will there be a Float interface like there's a Zoom interface?
Yeah, so that's we're working on that right now. Right now, you have to use third-party software like OBS or Streamlabs, or there's many others out there. But we're working on that one touch button where you can stream directly to Float
Perfect,
on Float,
because if you could do that, and then I could just connect to my YouTube channel from there, I would in a heartbeat go right through you.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
I'll be a beta if you want to. Whenever you're ready for that kind of tech, I'd love to test that out.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, it should be done in the next month or two. So I'll definitely let you know.
That's great. So, all right, let's just play a war game it here. Okay. Right. I know you're a good guy. I know your wife thinks you're a great guy, but you get caught doing something you shouldn't do. And these Druid Babylonian bastards have some pictures on you. You're the CEO of this company. This is censorship free, but usually the way things work is these guys get some dirt on somebody and then they come at them. And then all of a sudden you start, because I can never reconcile, how can there be all these leaders out there who have just, caved to the DBBs? And so the only way I can reconcile it is that these guys in charge are really, really good at getting people compromised. And once they do, they just fold like a, house of cards, I guess.
Yeah.
If that's the right. So that's why. What do you say to that?
Yeah. So, and I completely agree with you. And I know their tactics. I mean, they use military tactics, and where they not only to go after you, but they go after your family, your friends, your any company that you're associated with. So our goal, we're not there yet, but our goal is to become basically an unstoppable social network in the same ways that cryptocurrencies are unstoppable, is unstoppable digital money. So we're using things like IPFS and blockchain.
What is IPFS?
IPFS is interplanetary file system or storage. What is it?
Okay.
Storage, yeah. Anyway, but it's basically a kind of like a blockchain for content or video specifically. So
now, is that what Odyssey uses?
They use a version of IPFS. Yes.
Okay. And library is the token for Odyssey. Am I getting that right?
Yes. Yeah. Library credits.
Okay. So those are library credits. Now, how will Float work? Will you have a coin credit as well?
Token? Yeah, we're going to be launching our Float token here this year that we're really excited about. It's actually modeled after Bitcoin, and basically based on the engagement that you get on our platform versus the other people on the platform during a specific amount of time, let's just say like an hour, similar to how Bitcoin has 10-minute blocks, and then the miners get rewarded. Float users will get rewarded based on their contribution and their engagement on the platform.
So it's going to reward, instead of mining, it's going to reward stickiness. So the more people hang in there for an interview or the content in 10-minute increments.
Yeah, we're looking at doing hour increments instead of 10 minutes, but yes, very similar. Instead of setting up all these servers and mining Bitcoin, which actually, I mean, it secures the network, but in a way it wastes a lot of electricity. We're actually providing our token for people that provide good content on the platform.
All right. So is the token going to be pre-mined?
It is going to be pre-mined, but it's going to be, we're going to be very transparent in how we do it. And again, it's going to be modeled after Bitcoin with the same inflation rates and halving events every 4 years.
Is it 21 million?
21 million. the magic
And
number.
so what's the utility and purpose then of the token?
Yeah, so the utility, will be integrated into our reward system on the platform, and you can use it for tipping. You'll be able to use it to buy goods and services on Float Market when we launch that. You'll be able to buy advertisements on the platform as well. And we're we're exploring different ideas when it comes to kind of smart contracts, so that we can just make payments really easy. And a big part of what Float is about is making cryptocurrency easy and providing a name or a face to payments. So right now, if you know crypto, a lot of wallets, especially when I got in, they were actually very hard to use.
Right.
They're becoming more and more easier, which is great. But how easy would it be if Facebook just added Bitcoin or Ethereum? And that's really what we're going after.
Okay. So like library. So I guess library is the token for Odyssey. Is it the Odyssey blockchain?
No, Library uses their own blockchain. So Library is kind of the foundation, the blockchain.
Okay,
And so
Library.
LBRY came out first. It's been around for years. Odyssey is their new kind of front face visual aspect of Library. So it's just a different way that they wanted to.
Okay, so how does that compare to you then? So the float is float analogous to Odyssey or the library token?
I guess I would say Float is more like Library. We're trying to make, using crypto easy and supporting free speech. But I would say, Odyssey is more towards kind of YouTube. I'd say Float is more like a Facebook. So we're going to be adding, more functionality in the long run compared to a library. But we are actually becoming we spoke with Jeremy Kaufman a bunch about this, and he's actually pretty excited. So we're looking to become a library app, so that if you are on library, all your content actually will be visible on Float. And actually, when you post a Float, it can auto post a library, and so you can actually earn Float token and library credits for the same thing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, all right, let me just take a look real quick. So I have found with investable coins, or coins that we might deem investable, you have to just really, really be concerned about, shit coins out there, which is why I had a shtick. Where's my thing? Hold on. It is right here. I have my, we do shit coin trials on this channel.
Yeah.
And I tried to figure out the right questions to ask to determine whether it's an investable coin or not. And, I keep coming back time and time again to what I think is almost as important as the utility of a coin or a token, and that's the community. So tell me about your community.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And that's why I think that adding cryptocurrency to a social network is very powerful for a more free and prosperous world. And that's what I'm all about, is helping to put my contribution to the world of creating that a more peaceful place. So, sorry, what was the question? It was
the community. Tell me about the community.
Honestly, I love our community. We have, we have a bunch of people on there, a lot of crypto, people that are interested in crypto enthusiasts. We have a lot of independent journalists, a lot of people that share a lot of content that is typically deemed extremists or bannable on the big tech platforms. Not very controversial stuff. It's all just stuff that people talk about and look into and do research, like yourself. We have, a bunch of people talk about the news. We have some musicians. We have a lot of actually gardeners, which is pretty cool. We have a lot of people that talk about alternative, medicines or health things that again are typically not allowed on big tech. And yeah, we just have a great community. I mean, they're very supportive. They love when people join them. They love watching live streams. We have quite a few actually 24/7 live streamers on our channel, where people just set up continuous streams, different content that play throughout the day, which I think is really exciting. And we're looking to create features for that. And yeah, I mean, you'll see. You'll get a big welcome in our community.
So tell me about. I could totally understand you making this move last year, but you actually had the vision to make the move in 2019. So what was it in 2018 that was a pebble in your shoe that made you think, you know what, I just don't like where this is all heading. Let's change the world by, attacking, tech and making it censorship free.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good at spotting trends, and also I started noticing censorship really back in 2007. I was a fan of Ron Paul, and I
Yeah.
noticed back in the day, he would say things on mainstream television, and they would completely manipulate what he said. They would call him a kook, and for things that I would even see in person at some of his rallies or speeches. And ever since then, I've really been kind of following this trend of authoritarianism that's
Hmm.
occurring. Obviously, getting even speeding up now
Yeah.
since the C word.
Yeah.
And so I actually, before this, I had a esports startup that built in 2013. We actually built the first platform where you can actually play against each other in popular video games for Bitcoin.
Nice.
And we did some other things with that company, and that got acquired in 2017. 2018, I did some consulting for some blockchain companies, and then in 2019, I was like, okay, well, what do I want to do next? And so at the time, actually, we were working on a crypto wallet that was focused on privacy coins. But then, like I mentioned, my wife and I, we started developing some pretty close friendships with these content creators that I've been following for years that
Hmm.
really started to started getting the platform and what really worries me, even with saying even the C word,
Yeah.
is that you watch YouTubers now and they have to come up with code words. It's like, I mean, so
Crazy.
Orwellian.
It's
You have to come
crazy.
up with code words just so you don't hit their algorithm.
Yeah.
So,
It's
so
interesting.
yeah, so I, oh, sorry, just to finish.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I saw this trend happening. I didn't know, obviously last year was going to happen as bad as it did,
Right.
but you can tell, it's whenever empires kind of start to notice that are starting to lose their power and people are able to speak freely about that, they're going to get worried. So this is a thing that happens historically time and time again.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know that Max Freeman, right? From
Yes.
Epic. I think you guys were neighbors or something in Vegas, or I think he,
Not neighbors, but yeah, we're friends.
or maybe neighbors, meaning we both lived in Vegas.
Right.
Anyway, he started something called Yellow Pills, which is which on internet uh, on Jesus. Why am I having you ever have that to where I'm thinking Telegram? On Telegram, it's t.me/yellow pills. Basically, there's a group of really talented illustrators that are attacking censorship through creative memes. And they put a lot of work into these. And it's really interesting that I have learned just by following their journey in there, that tech has gotten so good that even in a meme, it can pick up words, even in a graphic. And so they tested it to where they can turn them upside down and get through any of these filters.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that we have to start wargaming and thinking about it this way. It's like you mentioned it, authoritarianism. It's just rampant everywhere. Even in, I don't know, do you live where you have an HOA?
Yes. Yeah. It's not too bad here, but yeah.
It's not too bad. Boy, I've lived in this neighborhood for almost 7 years, and it's only been in the last year that there has been, an HOA Nazi that is just stalking everyone and issuing these baseless $100 fines, right? Just taking the drive-by black and white photograph. So I got to show you this. This is one that I received. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So just take a look at that. Black and white. See the black and white?
Yep.
So I ended up, I have a guy who is an attorney friend of mine who he's just kind of a smart ass like me. And he told me how you fight these HOAs. They just don't know what to do with it. If they send you anything with a black and white photo on it, you send one back to them that's a response to theirs that has your house colored photograph, and say, I received your notice enclosed dated July 16th, 2021. It is not my house. My house is in color. Please correct your records. I do not appreciate receiving financially threatening notices that are invalid.
Well, I'm gonna have to use that in the future.
They do not know how to respond to that. He said he's helped a lot of people with just that one smart ass thing. So that's a pro tip for you guys out there living in an HOA. Yeah. So I wonder at what point in time they're going to start sending these in color. That'll increase HOA expenses, I'm sure. Yep. But so you're married. Is your wife? Is she your partner on this? Are you guys? Awesome. That's great. That's great. Yeah. So when you launched in 2019, how does an entrepreneur go about, executing on a vision like this? How did you start?
Yeah, I knew social networks would be hard, but they, especially with the ambitious, features and things and projects that we're doing. But I didn't know it'd be this hard. But we're getting through it, and we have a really exciting roadmap. So what we did is I went through, I got into startups also in 2013. So we kind of went the traditional startup routes in the beginning. We went through Boost VC, which is one of the premier crypto startup accelerators in San Mateo. They also do VR and a bunch of other different tech. And that's actually run by Adam Draper, whose father is Tim Draper, who's very prominent in the crypto world.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got some pre-seed funding from them. I built a team, based on what we were executing, and we've just kind of been growing ever since. We haven't been doing any paid advertisement or anything like that. I mostly talk with creators like you and learn a lot, honestly, just even like your Zoom comment, things that we should be building. So I really like to talk to content creators or just even users of social media, so that we can get a leg up and understand our customer, our users, suggestions or feedback. And
I know you were on Jeranism recently, right?
Yes.
I haven't listened to it. I intended to. Hold on one second.
Our dog does the same thing.
My dogs are going nuts. They rarely go nuts, but
here's my dog. Here, well, I'll show you. I got a crypto dog here.
Oh, let's see. Oh, do you really?
I got the Doge dog.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's great.
That's how much we're into crypto. And we got her last year, and right as we bought her, I was like, I bet, and this is when the markets, what was it? We were maybe at like 10,000 or something. And I was like, I bet when we buy her, we're gonna release the Doge and the markets will go up. And I swear, it was like the day of. I swear.
Well, everyone has to thank you then. I mean,
thank her. Right?
I hope you bought a boatload on her birthday, or when you brought her home. I hope you backed the truck up.
Right.
Became a Dogenaire. Yeah. So what a crazy year so far, right? I mean, it's I got in January. And just because somebody told me I needed to invest in XRP, and I had no idea what it was, and I know now that friends don't let friends buy XRP, but it's once I got into it, it's just kind of addicting, and then when you're a newbie like me that just decides, okay, I'm going to liquidate my IRAs and my 401ks and self-direct it all into crypto. And then all of a sudden, you go through February and March and April, and you remember when the charts were like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just you think your tree grows to the sky, and you're getting really good at this, and you start talking to other people to get into crypto, and they start saying, yeah, look, you've done really well. You're pretty smart with this. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty smart with this. And then boom. Then you go through the pullback that, bitch slaps everybody and humbles you. And you realize, seriously, this is just way over my head. I just got lucky for 4 months, and that's all.
Yep. Yeah. The cycle repeats itself. I started accumulating crypto when Bitcoin was $20, and I really liked, I've used a lot too. I do use crypto as money. So we pay developers, I've paid developers all across the world for the last 8 years in using cryptocurrency, because honestly, it's the fastest, most reliable.
Yeah.
If they accept it, I mean, it's just so much easier. I mean, I have to, I still have to pay some people's fiat, overseas. and it's just, it takes like 3 weeks, and there's all these issues, and sometimes they don't accept it, and blah blah blah, and there's lots of fees. So cryptocurrency, I mean, is this just the best modern money that we have right now, and
What do you
it's very
find
exciting.
out there is the preferred crypto for like your dev team and such?
They still like Bitcoin and Ethereum for the most part. That's kind of the most accepted. But they're into a bunch of others. Flow token, actually, it's gonna be a ERC20, but we're integrating Polygon, which is a second layer solution on top of Ethereum, so that transactions will actually be basically free and in almost instant. So we're really excited about that, because as all these networks keep getting more and more congested with more users, obviously that affects the network, no different than like a highway having more traffic on it. So Polygon is the thing that we're doing right now, and we're integrating that into our reward system and throughout our platform.
So since Float is taking a stand against censorship, have you built into your token anything that would provide? You say it's kind of matched after Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's a surveillance coin. So is there anything in your tech that shields you from surveillance?
So yeah, we're definitely interested in that. Like I mentioned before, we were actually developing a wallet, a crypto wallet that was centered on Monero and other privacy coins and tokens out there. So we're not gonna have that. We probably won't be able to build that this year, but so we're looking to add Monero and other privacy coins, and at least give users the ability to shield their transactions if they want to do that.
Okay. But the actual Float token itself is and again, I don't know how when you start talking about the block, is Float going to be a blockchain, or is it just a token that's riding on Ethereum?
No, yeah, Float, we probably won't ever create our own blockchain. We're more looking to build the bridges to other types of decentralized technology, including other blockchains that give users basically the option to choose what they prefer or what they want to upload to those.
Okay. Had somebody in here saying integrate Pulse Chain, not Polygon. No admin keys.
Yeah. No, we're really interested in Pulse Chain. I actually just started looking into it in the last 2 weeks, and I think what Richard Hart is doing is it seems really interesting and really kind of cool and fascinating. And so I'm learning more every day.
He's a scam. As you it's like everybody's been calling him a scam as it's been going up and up and up forever. And
Yeah.
I say that as a joke.
Right.
It's like I'm a hexagon, I guess you could call it that. And I think that the guy just has a supercomputer for a brain, and it's I did. The more I watch the guy, the more I just like. I can't back into the fact that this guy's going to do any kind of a rug pull. I just don't think. Just feels to me it's I don't think that's in his DNA. But what do I know?
Yeah. It's funny because I just really started diving deep into Richard Hart again. I've been watching him since, I don't know, 2016, 17 or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And before, he was a Bitcoin maximalist. So I was surprised to learn in 2019, a lot of his videos were talking about how much better Ethereum is. And he brings up so many good points. And we're actively looking into, integrating Pulse along with Ethereum. Our whole thing is like, we don't want to choose what people, can or cannot accept. We just want to back
agnostic.
Right, exactly. We want to back basically, any coin, including even XRP. Like I'm not a XRP fan. A lot of people make money on it, but any coin or token that has a community behind it, which I know Hex does, and Richard Hart has his following, and so yeah, we're absolutely interested in that.
100%. Yeah, it's through. I was talking about this earlier today, but I kind of had an aha moment where I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this blockchain thing. I mean, what the hell? It's a ledger. It's it's stored value. It's proof of work. And then it just hit me like a ton of bricks of what a blockchain actually is. It's like it's stored energy. Mm-hmm. And there are 3 ways as I understand it, that you can add energy to a blockchain. One is you can mine it. And well, I'm going to take that back. There's 4 ways and probably more, but you can develop it. So the developers certainly have put their mind share and their talents into developing the blockchain. So that's number one. Once it's road ready, you can mine it. That takes energy, that takes know-how, that takes human resource, that takes sweat equity, right? You're not getting paid right out of the blocks. You're actually, working for it like a miner would work for gold. So that's added energy to the blockchain. And then you can buy it. So ultimately, when you buy it, you're like, that's the easy button. Well, no, not, hold on. You actually worked for those fiat dollars. Somehow, some way, you got paid for those fiat dollars that you're choosing to convert that energy that you that you extended a while back to earn the fiat. You're saying, I want to put it in the blockchain by making the decision to buy a token. And then there are ways that you can go out and you can earn it. Your developers are earning Bitcoin and Ethereum from you and such. So those are the ways. And then ultimately, the communities are the ones that add a lot of value to it from a sweat equity standpoint. Me talking about Flote right now is adding energy to your blockchain. It may not technically be right, but it reconciles in my brain.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And the reason why I bring all of that up is at bottom, there's the community. Mm-hmm. And so when people kind of give Doge shit for not having any utility, I say, no, not true, man. You have a community out there that went crazy, that rallying, the support, that every time they type in Doge, every time they retweet something, or that's energy. It's all energy. And that's going to positively impact the token. Now you take all of that energy away, and what's going to happen? You're going to have the value of these blockchains fade to black. Mm-hmm. If there's a hack somewhere, right? That all of a sudden now the community is like, I'm done, I'm out. Mm-hmm. They take that energy with them. They mm-hmm. take their money out, So do you think I have that right, relating it to energy?
Yeah, actually, our CXO says that he always says the saying, all value is belief. And so basically, yeah, just like you said, so if you have a community that believes in something, then therefore it has more value. If Satoshi just, minted the first, million Bitcoin for himself and then just never traded it, or, I used to send people $5 tips on Reddit back when Bitcoin was 20, 30 bucks. And they, if no one was doing that, if no one was transacting, and then it would have no value. So yeah, absolutely. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great line. That's a great line. Let's see. Poke Gaga, just reading into the Epic Cash, happens to be a non-surveillance coin with a community that just happens to already be on Flote. Cool story in there somewhere. Okay. So yeah. Epic Cash is already on Flote?
Well, yeah, we have quite a few members from the Epic Cash community that share things about Epic Cash and other things on Flote. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. That's a great community. I'm a fan. I'm an Epic Cash fanboy. I really like Max.
Yeah.
Good. So what's the next stage for you? What's the next big announcement? What are you waiting on as the leader of this initiative?
Yeah, we're like I mentioned, we're actually in the middle of doing a full rewrite of our whole platform to make it more faster, more scalable. We're doing a full redesign right now to make it even more user friendly. We're going to be launching our token and reward system, so people will be able to get paid out, like we mentioned, or like I mentioned, with for Flote token rewards. And we're going to, we're looking into a whole bunch of stuff. Like I mentioned, library app. We're looking at restream type features on our platform. We have about 5 years of constant development lined up for us. But really, it's really exciting times. A lot of things going on, obviously, in the world. But I'm glad to see that while all the craziness happens, crypto is going up, and it's piquing a lot more people's interest, like yourself and many others. Because I just truly believe that this is it's the financial opt-outs, and
Yeah.
the more that as we return kind of the power of the Federal Reserve and the central banks worldwide, and put money back into the hands of the people, I think that we're just going to be better for us now, and for our children when we're ready, and everybody else. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, let me ask you this. If you think about Web 1.0, when the internet first became a thing, when email first became a thing, and you say, okay, from then to now, we're at the end of a football field, and let's say we're maybe at the 95 or at the 5-yard line. So we've come 95 yards. What yard line do you think we are now with blockchain technology and cryptocurrency?
I'd say we're probably about 5% there. I mean, I think,
Great answer. Great answer. We're at the 5-yard line. That's been consistent. A consistent answer from those way smarter than me. So you're in the way smarter camp. But and that becomes important for newbies, right? Mm-hmm. Because when we get into it, like when I got into it, I'm like, Jesus, Bitcoin was $2 at one point, $3. I am so late to the party. I mean, this is just disgusting. I'm so late to the party. Yep. And I think that was back when it was maybe, 20 something $1,000. And then of course it went up to 63 at one point before the flash crash. Thank you, Elon. But when you stop and you think and you go, no, hang on. We are so early still. So if you are new and watching this, the fact that you are, probably 99% of the people that you know aren't even where you're at. If you're watching this, I guarantee you that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, we have to think that we have to represent quadrillions of dollars, derivatives, all these assets that don't exist on blockchain currently, and those are basically going to be ported over to blockchains or whatever technology eventually evolves into. And so yeah, there's definitely an opportunity, and it's
I think somebody said the total assets that are real is 485 trillion. And
I think it might even be more than that when you include derivatives. I think it's like I've heard anywhere from like 1 to 4 quadrillion.
Right. But whoever was saying that was saying, like, if you take a look at the real estate, gold, mm-hmm. and all, just those that are tangible.
Okay.
Assets, that it would be 485 trillion. So even if you think about that.
Yeah.
Right. And you recognize that when this market was at its top, it was just 2 trillion, I think. Mm-hmm. And so you just think about that. We're just a little gnat, yeah. in comparison to the total asset classes. And so that's why, and everything's going here. Everything is every company out there is now needing a crypt turn. You need people who understand this space. Yeah. And when that adoption starts coming, man, it's going to be good to be where we're at now. But it is a bumpy ride up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the Trojan horse behind cryptocurrency is that it is it's a speculative asset. Yeah. And so that gets people excited to see the price go up. And it's it's a pretty small markets still compared to overall trade on stock markets and Forex and everything. So it's good. It's going to be volatile for quite a while until we see really mass adoption. But it presents its opportunities if you play your cards right. not financial advice, but I always tell people that if they are interested in crypto and they're not in yet, to the best way financially typically is to do dollar cost averaging. That's typically the safest, and then you're not having to kind of time the market, which most people get incorrect. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. My lesson learned through all of this is, I invested in probably about 20 different cryptocurrencies early on, and they all did really, really well. Again, it's not because of me, it's because everything did really, really well. And so I wrote it up and then wrote it down. And so I came up with this. If you have kids, just don't, plug their ears right now. But I made an analogy. I'm like, when there was that flashback, I mean, I was looking at my Blockfolio app and I was feeling so good about myself. I mean, I did a little, a show called, I have Blockfolio finger, because it was like every 30 seconds. It was in, the end of, gosh, was it April? Yeah, it was April, to where literally you would hit your app and it would go up another percent like every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time. And then when the pullback came, I remember it was over a weekend, and I woke up and it was like, what the, and I joked, I said, it was like John Holmes gave you all 14, man.
Yeah.
And so that hurt. I felt like I got John Holmes. And so I came up with a strategy that from that point on, I was like, if I invest $1,000 in a coin, when it hits 2x, I'm going to take 25% off the table. So I'm going to take $500 off, and I'm going to put it what's called my John Holmes bag. And the reason why is that'll be safe harbor, because when it was coming down, I got sick and tired of hearing everybody pompously say, well, consider it a blessing, buy the dip. And I'm like, with what?
Right.
With what? I'm fully deployed. Everything else is down too. So you have to be able to take profits. And I think you have to build in a discipline to do that. And for me, it's like putting a number on it, saying, okay, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Yeah, maybe it goes 3x, 4x or whatever. But if I take that $500 and it retraces down to, by 80%, now I can go buy, swoop up a little bag and buy the dip.
Yeah. Yeah. You can apply just, a lot of traditional types of strategies like that to crypto. It just, you just have to, be able to take your punches here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wild ride. I mean, I remember, even when Bitcoin hit $100 million market cap, and that was very exciting. And now just to see where we're at, it's incredible, and we still have such a long way to go, but
where do you think Bitcoin can go?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I used to be kind of actually like a Bitcoin maximalist up until probably 2016 or so. And because they always talked about, oh, Bitcoin's going to add, privacy elements and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so so I don't know. I've kind of lost my faith in Bitcoin, to be honest. I mean, I'm sick of I want to use digital crypto money.
Yeah.
I don't want a bank account. I don't want to deal in fiat, Federal Reserve notes. So and I just feel like Bitcoin just getting more and more bogged down by
feels entirely manipulated to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've kind of lost my faith in Bitcoin, but I do, I have a feeling that Bitcoin will still do very well for a while, and it's obviously the ringleader right now. But I think eventually, I mean, this is just technology at the end of the day, and that's really what all money is. And if Bitcoin, as people use Bitcoin more and more as money, they're just not going to prefer it over other ones that are faster and cheaper. So I think that whatever basically is ends up being that with the community behind it.
Slow and expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you get into the busier times. I mean, it's just, and same with Ethereum 1.0, but you're going to be on the, what do you call it? The next level, second layer 2?
Yeah, Polygon. Yeah.
Polygon. Yeah. So that's awesome. Well, great. How do people find you out there?
Yeah, you can go joinflote.com is our website. It'll auto
not flote.app.
Yeah, you can go to either or. I bought joinflote.com as well because it just auto directs.
Got it.
And then and I'm King on there, King. on
Okay.
Floats. My wife is Erin on Floats. A lot of people know her and they interact with her on the platform as well.
Erin, Erin, or how?
Erin. Yep.
Okay, great. Great.
And yeah, join us, reach out, and say hi, and we'll
What
make
about
sure.
Telegram?
Telegram, I'm KRH Edwards on Telegram,
Okay.
and I'm usually KRH Edwards on other
And
social
Float
medias.
has a Telegram. Is it just t.me/FLOTE?
Yeah, let me check. Let me just double check. I think it might be Float Official on Telegram. 1 second.
Yeah, it's Float Official.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, it's Float. It's t.me/float public.
Oh, wait.
But the title is Float Official.
t.me/float public. Is it not public or?
No, it's just public. Float public. FLOTE public.
There we go. Got it. Okay, you got Uncle V just joined the house.
Nice.
All right. Well, look, I thank you very much. I appreciate it, and really wishing you guys not good luck, but good skill. I know you put a ton of time, energy, effort, know-how, and man, you're right over the target, because it's look, with censorship. I mean, the bottom line is the TV is lying to you. Mm-hmm. And if you don't believe that, you're under a spell, period, end of story. And until we can break that spell, there's a lot of damage that can be done and is being done. So I really encourage everybody to support projects like yours. And I certainly will. So at the point in time that you're ready to have somebody live stream directly to Float and work all of that out, I'd love to be first in line.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I really appreciate it. And thank you again for having me on.
You bet. All right. Hey, everyone in the chat, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. And I don't know when I'll see you next, but you know me, I pop up